We're joined by Sergei Markov. He is a Russian foreign policy expert and an informal advisor to President Vladimir Putin. He joins us live now from Moscow. Mr. Markov, thank you so much for joining us here on Al Jazeera. In that news conference a little earlier, we heard from Stefan de Mistura, of course, the UN envoy to Syria. He said that the announcement of the Russian withdrawal was, and I'm quoting, a significant development. He said it was a positive influence on the talks and that the timing could not have been a coincidence, the fact that it was announced just as the talks were going on. Based on your knowledge, of course, of the workings of the Kremlin and what Russia's desires in this war are, do you think that this is overly optimistic? Do you see Russia's announcement as the game changer in this war that perhaps other people are seeing it as?
The main reason of Russia withdrawing troops, of course, that Russia reach on goals. It means help Syria to save from being captured by terrorists from Islamic State and Jabhat al-Nusra. And now we have a Syrian army strong enough who can continue it fighting against Islamic State and Jabhat al-Nusra. The problem is that pro-Saudi Arabia, pro-Qatar, pro-United States Syrian revolutionary troops, they don't want to fight against strong jihadists of Jabhat al-Nusra and Islamic State, because these groups include also maybe moderate, but also jihadists. Liberals usually doesn't take Kalashnikov and never go to the desert. Liberal opposition sitting on Facebook and printing notes against Bashar al-Assad.
Forgive me for interrupting. I mean, there's a lot of... the war in Syria is extremely complicated with lots of different groups. It didn't start like this 5 years ago. But as you mentioned, Russia's main aim was to disable Jabhat al-Nusra and ISIL. I mean, the groups are still in existence in Syria. Is Russia's plan that if the Syrian government was to get into trouble again, because the Syrian government was in trouble before Russia intervened, would Russia then step up its involvement in Syria once again?
If Syria will need again to stop terrorist attack, Russia will come back again to help Syrian people. But now it looks like a good condition for the peace talk in Geneva. And also we believe that Russian diminishing of military presence will encourage also Bashar al-Assad for such negotiation. But at the same time, Russia's presence will encourage anti-Assad Syrian groups also for such a negotiation. Now everybody understands in Syria that United States doing nothing really to fight against jihadists of Islamic State and Jabhat al-Nusra. But Russia really really solve the problem, and now coming back, but also making monitoring of the situation.
Well, sir, I mean, Russia obviously plays a key role now in the negotiations. I mean, you mentioned that this may be a good time for the talks. What do you think the Russian government, Vladimir Putin, wants to specifically come out of these talks right now?
It's very easily. Russia wants this stopping of fighting will continue, and then it will be a political negotiation about forming of compromise government, which will include all political groups, all ethnic and confessional groups. And also probably they will get a new constitution. Now this draft of the new constitution make another little bit structure of the governmental institutions. It's a united country, but my personal opinion that we should lead to the federal constitution of Syria. It's my personal opinion.
Just very, very briefly, do you think that Russia has to keep Bashar al-Assad in power? Or do you think Russia could conceive a Syrian government, not now, but in a few months, without President Assad?
It's very easily. Until terrorists didn't crash by Syrian army, Bashar Assad as president and chief of command of army needed to soldiers and officers very much. When the war will be over, when all terrorists will be crushed, after this, army already will not need so much Bashar Assad as now. But another principle, Syrian people by votes should decide who should be their president. Not Washington, not Riyadh, not Ankara, but Syrian people should decide. If they vote for the Bashar Assad, okay, let Bashar Assad will be. If another candidate, another candidate.
Sergei Markov, a Russian foreign policy expert and informal advisor to President Vladimir Putin. Sir, very good to get your views on the program. Thank you.